Worrying doesn't take away today's troubles, it takes away tomorrow's peace. That's a very good quote that I did not come up with because I can assure you that I am not intelligent enough to come up with something like that, but I think it's a quote that a lot of people can use in their lives. I know life gets stressful. You're stressed about your life, you're stressed about your career, you're stressed about school, you're stressed about the economy, whether or not you'll be able to retire. Young people, we're all in the same boat with that. But I think it's because we live in a world that's based on worrying. You always hear that the economy's crashing and global warming's gonna kill us all, and there's a shortage of eggs, and there's war and famine. And I'm not saying that those things aren't happening, but I don't think that worrying about those things will change them. I'm not saying that we all can't come together and take action against those things, but simply just sitting there and letting yourself get stressed about those things won't help. It'll take thousands or millions or billions of people to make a change, and while I'm optimistic, it's hard to visualize that change happening in our lifetimes unless something catastrophic happens. Worrying is in our nature, but I think we worry because we care. We care that there's global warming. We care that there's war where innocent people are caught in the middle. We care about those things. But I'm here to tell you that worrying about those things won't help you in any way. I don't know how to word this any better, but let's say that you were standing on some ice. And, I think instead of worrying that you're gonna fall, it's better to focus on getting off the ice instead of trying to keep yourself standing, if that makes sense. It's kind of like, when you're driving or when you're learning to drive and they say you're gonna go wherever you look. So if you're looking off to the side, you're gonna start veering off to the side. It's like that. And it's the same thing when it comes to the economic climate. Everyone's talking about the 2023 recession, and 2023 is going to be a bad year, and everyone should brace for the worst. And I'm not saying that those things aren't going to happen, or by the time you're watching this, I'm not saying that it's not happening, but watching the news and reading articles about the upcoming recession doesn't put more money in your pocket. It doesn't tighten up your budget. It doesn't do any of that. It doesn't do anything for you. It just takes up valuable real estate in your mind, or as the kids say nowadays, living rent-free in your head. The best thing you can do is to try and stay ahead of the news, because then you know that you've taken the necessary steps to secure yourself of whatever situation is brewing, and in this case, we're talking about a recession. Instead of me worrying about a recession, as soon as I hear news of it, I'm gonna go through all the charges on my credit cards and my debit cards, and I'm looking at whatever was unnecessary and I'm cutting it out. If my website was costing me too much every month, that's gone. I spent too much on clothes this month, that's not gonna happen again next month. I'm not saying that you should never worry about things, because I think any normal human being with emotions worries once in a while. But I think just staying ahead of things will give you way more peace of mind than you could ever expect. Now, keep in mind, I haven't experienced a lot of things that a normal adult has. I don't know if that's worded correctly, but for example, I've never owned a car or I've never owned a house, so I only know what I've experienced, but I feel like a lot of our worries can be dealt with if we just stayed on schedule of what we had to do. But, let me give you an example, and let's take this fuse box in my closet. I'm using this example because I've personally had issues with this and I've experienced it firsthand. So this little thing right here is my space heater. I use it when I get home. I use it when I'm writing scripts. I use it a lot. I like to be warm. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, I found that if I use it on level 2 or the highest heating setting, that it'll blow the fuse and basically half the house won't have power. So how did I remedy this situation? Well, all I do now is I just keep the heater on level 1, and that's good enough for me. And that's all you have to do. You just have to stay ahead. If you stay ahead and maintain things, everything will be okay. That's all there is to it. All you have to do is complete the most important tasks and then move on to the less important ones. That's basically the key to life. Just kidding, I don't have the key to life, but you get the point. You know that graph with like 4 quadrants that show like urgent and important and stuff like that? Just focus on the 2 top ones, which are urgent and important and urgent and not important. The more you stay in those top 2, quadrants, the more you'll be on top of your work and the less you have to worry about. And the less you have to worry about, the better you feel. I remember, really quick before I end the video, I remember there was this kid that we used to play Modern Warfare 3 with, and he was in my class. And I remember most days at school, we would finish the lesson early, and our teacher would tell us to either talk amongst ourselves or use this time to do our homework. And of course, me being me, I didn't want to do homework and I wanted to talk to my friends, probably about Modern Warfare 3. But I remember this kid, like clockwork, got started on the homework right away and he was done it by the time class was done. If I did my homework, because I didn't want to do it in class, I would have had to go home and delay playing PlayStation because I still would have had to do my homework, or I would have had to do my homework after we were done playing, and we all know that never happened. And I just ended up not doing the homework in general. So kids, if you're watching, don't be like me. But that kid, lived in quadrant 1 and 2 is basically what I'm trying to say. But after you get the system down, it's a lot of just making the process simpler and trying to refine it. This took some genius here, but I realized that I could put the laundry to wash and then I can come back upstairs and be done vacuuming by the time the laundry is done. I'll take a bow for that one. But all jokes aside, it's all about simplifying the process after you come up with it. And remember that conflict delayed is conflict multiplied. Just stop procrastinating. It's not worth it. All it does is make you more stressed because you're putting things off that have to be done instead of just doing it at the beginning, because then you can do whatever you want to after that. Now, when you're doing what you want, you're less worried, which is what this video was all about in the first place. Not disturbing tomorrow's peace. And as always, thanks for watching.